Everyone, today we're going to be doing a lab with this guy. Okay, let's jump right into it. We're going to do a virtual titration here. Okay, I got to go to the lab stock room to get some chemicals. Oh, thank you. Welcome to the lab stockroom. I can get your experiment all set up. Perfect. I'm going to need an analyte. So this chemical is the chemical unknown. We're going to have an unknown acid. We'll try 25 milliliters of that. 10 milliliters of that unknown acid. Titrant. This is going to be the known solution, so we're going to use a strong base for the titrant. We'll do a 0.3 molar solution here. We're going to review all this information in a second. All right, and then we also need an indicator. So we're going to be using phenolphthalein for this indicator. We'll use a big burette. So cool. All right, I think we've got everything we need from the lab stockroom to begin our lab. You'll be titrating 10 milliliters of unknown HCl, hydrochloric acid, with 0.3 molar sodium hydroxide. That's our base. Using phenolphthalein. Would you like to proceed? Yes, let's get started here. All right, so in my burette here, I've got my base. In the beaker, I've got my acid. So, some details here if you need to review. We're starting with an unknown concentration of acid, and we will be adding base to it to increase the pH. We're going to have a titration curve as well to keep track of our progress. And I'm going to start off with a lot of base because I know I can add quite a bit before the solution changes color. So I'm looking for a light pink color. If I get a dark pink color, I've overshot it. So let's try our best here to see. Let's see here. I'm looking at the pH. I don't want to overshoot it. So I'm going to lower the volume I'm adding now. So as we see the pH increase over here, we kind of want to be careful. We don't want to overshoot the equivalence point or the end point of the reaction. So at this point, I'm just going to add really small amounts at a time. Oh, looks like that was enough to turn my solution pink. So it seems that I reached past my equivalence point. Remember, the pH would be 7 at the equivalence point. So this happens in titrations where you overshoot, and that's all right. What we want to pay attention to is the approximate volume at which the equivalence point would be. So that would be at pH 7. So look at the data points and try to estimate the equivalence point of this reaction. So it's clearly between 10.6 and 10.7 milliliters. And so what happened was I neutralized all of the acid with this small drop, and Once I did that, by adding one tiny drop of base, right, we saw the pH jump significantly. Okay, so not my best titration, but we'll go with it and use this data.